And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Okay, I see people entering the chat now. Welcome. Hello to you as well. Awesome. Okay. All righty. It seems like we're flooding in here now, so I'm going to jump into things. But hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Brandon Scott. Welcome to my masterclass, Endless E-Commerce Growth, brought to you by Carbon Box Media. A few announcements before I jump into things. Number one, if you are watching this live and you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be answering those live. I have a lot of material I want to cover, and I don't want that to serve as a distraction to me missing out of covering some important material. I will, however, get back to you via email at the end. I will comb through the comments and make sure that I'm responding to everybody. If you're watching this on replay, I also encourage you to drop your questions in the chat as well, as I can actually view those in post, and I will get notified as you're making those comments, and I can respond to you as well. But yeah, so again, my name is Brandon Scott. Before I tell you more about myself, I want to cover our agenda today, the things we're going to cover. Then I'll talk to you about myself, and we'll get into things. But yeah, alrighty, our agenda today. So obviously, I'll introduce myself, give you a background about Carbon Box Media. From there, we will talk about the digital marketing ecosystem, kind of how a healthy online store has multiple channels kind of feeding it in the best way possible. We'll then transition to talk about how paid traffic really is the start of the ecosystem. It's kind of the bloodline of the whole thing. Then we'll cover a paid traffic strategy overview. At a high level, we'll talk about it. And then we'll dive into some real world examples that my team has worked with and has seen some really good results with. And then we'll take a deep dive into the paid traffic strategy. I set it up this way because I want you guys to see just a high level of the step-by-step strategy we're employing. I want you to see the real world examples. I want you to see how we're applying this strategy. And then afterwards, I want to go in depth and I want to use the case studies as reference and be able to say, like, hey, remember this where we did this? This was this part of the steps. So I think that's a good way to visualize it. And I hope you guys find that helpful. But from there, we'll then cover some action items. I want to give you guys things that you can leave this webinar with and say, like, oh, I know exactly what I need to do right now to improve my results. So I think it's the biggest thing, right? I want this to be as much value as possible. And beyond just learning with me, I want you to take what you've learned and put it into actionable stuff. From there, I'll give you an opportunity to get connected with me if you're looking to speak further. So yeah, let's jump into things. Obviously, hello, my name is Brandon. A quick background about myself. I'm one of the founders of Carbon Box Media. Prior to founding Carbon Box Media, I was a student at the University of Nevada, Reno, where I played college football. Huge opportunity. I felt so blessed to earn a scholarship and be able to play, 4 years and just, have that experience, right? While I was there, I studied business management, got my degree and graduated, and I entered the IT world, worked in IT, and then transitioned into healthcare, where I was essentially working with some client management and consultant management type of stuff, more on the operations side of things. But yeah, it was a great experience. I knew in my heart I always wanted to work in the digital marketing space. I fell in love with some courses in college, but I guess my path didn't take me there. But I knew in the long run I was going to go back there. So insert our other founder. That's a little about me, but insert our other founder, Jordan White. I actually went to college with Jordan White, and he's been selling online since he was in high school. And so I reached out to him, we got connected, and it just happened to be a good time. He was looking to open a new venture as well. And so we started selling online together. So we opened our own store online, started to see some really good success over time. And we had some other friends that were looking to get into the online space. So we started helping them to expand their stores and just kind of help them optimize and whatnot. And before we kind of knew it, we kind of recognized, like, hey, we're kind of an agency, but we're not an agency. So we founded Carbon Box Media, and to transition there, since founding Carbon Box Media, we've helped scale 22 brands to 7 and 8 figures. Our team collectively has spent $25 million on ads, and we've averaged a return on ad spend to between 4 and 8x with our clients. So really good stuff there. Some of the niches we've worked in is the kitchen brand niche, outdoor brands, fashion brands, baby brands, home improvement, beauty brands, pet brands, and then just also marketplaces, which is a really cool thing, just to sell many products through one store. But yeah, so that's been great, right? Working in a bunch of different niches, it's given us the ability to understand, where strategies trend, what kind of strategies work in what niches, but also what strategies, um, transition well into other niches, and also be able to identify trends and just see that, hey, when these things happen in the economy or throughout the world, these brands are impacted, these types of brands aren't. So it's a very valuable insight. I've learned a lot by working with a bunch of different brands, and it's very cool stuff. So yeah, but to transition to what we take pride in staying up to date with our algorithms. So anybody who's working inside of these these different algorithms, whether this is through paid traffic or just Google in general, right? Anything. These algorithms are significantly updating like every 3 months, which is good, right? We want better algorithms, but the caveat is if you're not staying up to date on these things, then you're going to fall behind. So we take pride in staying up to date. Number two, we take a lot of pride in our creative strategy pipeline, whether that's filming our own content for our brands or just coaching our clients on how to film quality content that can be sustainably produced over time. We take a lot of pride in that because creatives are really a big needle mover nowadays through many channels. Moving on, we take a lot of pride in funnel segmentation and optimization. Obviously, if you have an online store, it is all about the user. So having a clean, concise funnel that is just very smooth for the user is very important. So we take pride in building those and fixing the broken ones. Lastly, and you'll see this in our case studies, we take a lot of pride in finding ways for brands that work with us to win online. And yeah, you'll see those in the case studies. But yeah, that's Carbon Box Media. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I want to get into the actual course material. So let's transition. So the digital marketing ecosystem. Every store needs an ecosystem. All these 9-figure, 10-figure, 8, 7-figure stores have some sort of ecosystem set up. So for example, you have your typical social media channels, right? TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, just to name a few. Obviously there's others, but these are also paid traffic channels. And then you have Google and search engine optimization, but you also have Google as a paid search channel. You have affiliate marketing, which is paying influencers to promote your products. You have email marketing, which is remarketing to your past customers, right? Then you also have affiliate marketing, where you're essentially paying people to market your products and get them sold for you. And then you have the content creation, right? So obviously this isn't an exhaustive list, but just wanted to give you an example of a store being in the middle of all these different channels, and all these different channels feeding the business. If you're new to digital marketing, you probably have some questions, or if you've, been in digital marketing, but you're not happy with your results, you probably also have some questions. So the biggest questions I would think you probably have is, if you're new, where do I start? And if you have been doing this and you're not happy with your results, is how do I improve my results? Like, what's the biggest needle mover, right? Like, how do I get better results today? And I'll tell you right here. And if you were paying attention in the agenda, you probably can guess what I'm about to say, but that is paid traffic, right? So paid traffic really is powerful, and when it's done right, can really scale a business really fast. So to transition into paid traffic, right? Paid traffic is the bloodline of online stores. Every business scales in paid traffic when marketed correctly. Obviously, other businesses scale better than others, but if you're able to essentially, get build your store to convert, there's a good chance that you can scale on paid traffic, right? So our goal is to get net new customers month over month. So we want to profitably get customers into our funnel and have them, buy our products at a high volume. And honestly, only paid traffic can provide this, right? All our other channels are important, but they're not going to bring the quality volume that we need month over month to have new customers and make new sales, right? And one of these things that's phenomenal about paid traffic is that over time, you can have predictable results. You can be spending $10,000 online and know that when you spend $10,000, you're going to make $40,000. So this is all things that I'm going to dive into deeper, but just talking about the importance of getting new customers month over month for your business. Okay, let's talk about quickly understanding our channels. I want to kind of just talk to you about these channels, and I want to talk to you about how paid traffic actually boosts these channels, right? So for example, SEO can take 6 to 12 months to end up on the front page of Google, and it just depends on how competitive your industry is. That's a long time. And excuse me, grab some water really quick. 6 months, 6 to 12 months is a long time. Obviously, it's a necessity. You need to work on your SEO, but you just need more customers today if you're going to be profitable. Email marketing, obviously, this is very important, and I 10 out of 10 recommend doing it, but you need a larger list of people to essentially make it a profitable channel. Organic social, every business should be on social channels and should be posting consistently, but we shouldn't be as a business, we shouldn't be relying on virality to make sales. That's not predictable. You never know when you're going to go viral. Influencer marketing, it's great. I think it's great to have people promoting your products and build some brand legitimacy with audiences, but it is hard to measure success when it stands alone. Affiliate marketing, because building affiliates can be difficult, but also it's hard to guarantee that they're going to make sales for you. You never know if they're going to be motivated to work that day or not. So we want predictability. I want to talk to you quickly about how paid traffic boosts all these channels. So for example, with paid traffic, you are sending quality, very relevant audiences to your website. And Google is very smart. So the people that enter your website, the longer they stay there, the more Google recognizes your website as legitimate and something that they should push more traffic to. So if we're naturally pushing quality traffic to your website, then over time, what's going to happen is Google's going to say like, oh, this is a great website. So that'll boost your SEO significantly from an email marketing, right? What's great about the conjuncture with paid traffic is paid traffic allows us to get more sales, right? And then we can remarket to those people that we are essentially making sales to. So over time, our lists are going to grow and we can provide them a lot of value and become an authority to these customers over time. So it's going to, the labor that you're going to put into email marketing is going to be, better utilized by just sending more people through paid traffic to your website. Organic social, obviously, the more people that see your ads on social, the more that you're going to more likely people are to follow you and just build your following. So it's important, right? And influencer marketing, if an influencer, let's say, sends 100 people to your website, and let's say, just for example, 3 people purchase, that's great. You got 3 purchases, but those other 97 didn't purchase. Well, with paid traffic, we can actually re-engage those people through social platforms and remind them that our brand exists. So it gives us a better chance to get more sales, but also makes it make more sense to actually do influencer marketing because we are we're sending more people. Those people that we're sending to the store, we're having a chance to sell it to them multiple times. So it gets more bang for our buck. Affiliate marketing, obviously, the more people you send to your website, the better chance you have to get more potential signups. So it's just going to boost yourself. And you can also integrate your affiliate, offerings into your email marketing. So it all plays together. So let's transition into our paid traffic marketing strategy. Just a quick overview here. So 5 steps. Always keep it simple. I recommend that, if you can't break something down into simple steps, then you probably don't know how to do it. So I like to keep it simple here, and then we will dive deeper later, as I said. But first of all, our first step is research and discovery. Then we launch our campaigns. Once we know everything that's needs to be known, it needs to be understood before we're launching. And then after we launch our campaigns, we analyze our data. Then we pivot to win, and then we scale our wins. So let's talk about some case studies now. Alrighty, so we're going to cover 3 case studies today. The first one is going to be fast fashion at scale. The second one is the baby brand that could. And the third one is going to be the art supply outlier. Alrighty, so the first one here, fast fashion at scale. So a brief background about this brand. So we've worked with this brand now for 11 months. They came to us right after Black Friday in 2021. They had a decent Black Friday, but they weren't profitable. They came to us and they were looking for better results. So this is going to sound kind of crazy, but this brand was actually getting a 3x return on their ads. But for them, that was no good. And what you'll see later in a slide, that 3x typically is a really good point for a brand. If a brand can hit a 3x or above, they're probably going to be profitable online. But just, this is a case by case basis per brand, and this is why I wanted to include this, because I want to talk to you guys about the how paid social isn't necessarily a one size fits all. There's different strategies you have to implement to be profitable. So the reason why 3x, like spending $1, making $3 wasn't good enough for them is a few reasons. Number one being a high cost of goods. They're in the fashion industry, and the products that they were sourcing were expensive. And also the second being that their product relevancy drops very fast. So in fashion, if you're not familiar, what's trending right now isn't going to be what's trending tomorrow. So for example, if you had a summer line of clothing that you were pushing for that year, if whatever you don't sell, you have to get rid of, because next year no one's going to buy it. So this brand needed to essentially sell all of it. They needed to sell out, and they needed to sell out fast, or they were going to be unprofitable. So they came to us, and we had this question, right? Like, how do you scale a brand that's already getting a 3x return, which is really good? So what we did is we implemented a few things. Number one was we had to test massive amounts of creatives. We knew that inside of I'm talking for this paid traffic examples, I'm going to talk about Facebook. These are all going to be Facebook examples. So we knew that through Facebook, one of our biggest needle movers was going to be creatives. So this is essentially what we did. And to keep it as simple as possible, we would essentially use 20 different images, right, as individual ads, and push those out to our audiences. All these images, we try to make them as different as possible and kind of have a uniqueness to each one. And we'd give the same amount of spend to each ad. And over time, over a few days, we'd see which ones were bringing in the most traffic profitably. So if one creative was bringing in a 5 to 8x ROAS, then we would double down on that one. If one was bringing in a 1x ROAS, we would cut it off. So we essentially did that to where out of those 20 creatives, the ones that weren't profitable, we'd get rid of, and the ones that were profitable, we would add our spend there. But we didn't stop there. We would then replace the ones that we removed with completely new creatives and continue that testing cycle again. Let them run for a couple of days. The ones that were very profitable, we would move over and scale them, and the ones that weren't profitable, we'd get rid of. So essentially, what this account needed needed creatives that would win. And so to give ourselves the best chance of getting winning creatives, we just swapped out creatives rapidly. And it was a lot of work, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. This is like a daily thing that we were swapping out and, having to generate new creatives often. And it was a lot of work, but, the fruits of the labor started to come through when, you can kind of see here our sales kind of went through the roof here. Another thing we did is we broadened our audiences. And this is something that's kind of counterintuitive, right? So Facebook is updating, right? In 2017, you could be very targeted with your audiences. Now you can't be, because it's harder to target people based on their interests. So what we did is we expanded our interest, and our philosophy was let people say no to us instead of us saying no for them, right? So we did it. We obviously had some losers, but what we found is we had way more winners, and it ended up we ended up having a lot more conversions, and it ended up lowering our cost per click, cost per acquisitions, which was huge to increasing our ROAS. So yeah, to transition to our next slide, this is just a screenshot of our fast fashion Facebook ads manager. So you can see, for example, we're spending lots of money here and getting some pretty quality returns. And you can check the ROAS. Like this one has a 13x ROAS. We spent 1,141. We had a 10x ROAS here, spent 3,937. To make $42,000. So these returns, this isn't easy, guys, but this is those things where all of these are profitable, because the bad ones we just cut off. As soon as they prove that they're not going to benefit the business, we get rid of them and we instantly replace them. So we had to have that pipeline so we could feed the business at scale. But yeah, this is a really fun one, and a very demanding project, but it pays off when you see the results like this. So moving forward, a second case study, the baby brand that could. So 2 years ago, this brand, before working with us, was making $10,000 a month in sales. Today, they're making $200,000 monthly in sales. Big change, right? So, but that, this requires a lot of diligence, and this is a really good example of just a brand that is scaling slowly but surely, and just keeps moving forward and just gets better and better results. So, for example, today, guys, we're currently spending 20K a month, and we're 4xing that. So we're spending 20K and we're making 80K a month on paid social month over month. We started with this brand spending $2,000 a month. And kind of our goal was, when we started 2 years ago, was to spend $2,000 and find a way to get a 4x return. Once we hit the 4x return, we would then in turn spend $3,000 and try to get a 4x return. And you kind of see where I'm going here. Then we would try to spend $4,000 and get a 4x return. Over 2 years, we've been able to scale this to where we know we can spend $20,000 a month and hit a 4x return. So like I said earlier, predictability in paid social is very important. So we're just sending massive amounts of traffic to the store and being able to get lots of conversions. So another problem we have, so guys, just to be clear, when you're spending $20,000 a month in one ad account, it requires a massive amount of creatives, because we run into something what's called ad fatigue. If you're familiar with ad fatigue, good for you. If you're not, what that essentially means is we're essentially sending our audiences these ads, right? And if after they see it once, we end up showing it to them again to remind them we exist. After we show them a third time, they become kind of numb to it. So we need to refresh those ads to essentially like re-pique somebody's interest, for example. Think about it, for example, like every year Lexus drops every couple of months, Lexus drops new car commercials, and it's to re-engage you and show you something new. Obviously it's still Lexus, but it's a different way of showing you, and it engages your mind again. So that's the same kind of philosophy here. So we had, one of our biggest barriers was like, how do we get this brand massive amounts of creatives month over month without breaking their bank and having them spend lots and lots of money on paying a photographer to film babies with this product month after month. They'd have to be doing this all the time. The shoots would be crazy. So something we came up with for our customer was to give discounts to customers that buy from them and film content for us. So if after somebody purchases a product, they get the product obviously, but then they get sent an email saying like, hey, are you interested in a 15% discount? Film your baby using our product, send us the video, and you'll get a discount code. So two things happen from that. Number one, people like discounts. So they filmed the content and they sent it to us. And we were able to get those videos and pictures and use them on our ads to market to new people with new creatives. Number two, since somebody was getting a discount and they had to essentially film a video or take pictures to receive that discount, they are significantly more likely to be a repurchaser, right? So we were able to then predict, like we were able to remarket to our people that bought our products significantly higher just through email marketing. Like our return customer rate started to go higher and higher, but then also our return on ad spend was able to scale as well, because we were having fresh creatives coming in all the time. And in a way, when you have lots of different people or lots of different babies using our product, it kind of social proofs it. People are like, wow, like a lot of babies are using this. And since it's people at home filming their babies, it all is user generated, which is the best kind of content. User generated content people tend to trust more because it doesn't look overproduced. So lots of killing multiple birds with one stone. Very, very, very great strategy. I'm glad we implemented it because we started to see some high returns. And 2 years later, like I said, they went from making 10K a month to 200K a month. And so, for example, we're making 80K a month on paid search and paid social, on paid social. But the other channels that are bringing in money as well are paid search, right? So something that happens, guys, is when someone sees your ad and they're scrolling, if they're going to buy your product, right, they'll click on your ad and visit your website and make that purchase. But sometimes what they'll do is they'll exit their app and go to Google and search your product or search like a keyword. And so what we do is we use paid search. So when people leave our funnel, they can actually get sucked back into the funnel. They go to Google, they type in our business name. We want to be the first result there. They type in something that's related to our business. We want to be the first result there to capture the intent that we're generating. Also, email marketing is huge. Like I'd mentioned, emailing people about, filming content for us to get a discount. That's huge. But also just even reminding them that we exist. This is a baby brand. So what we did is we focused on becoming an authority for the baby space. So these mothers and fathers are getting emails essentially saying like, hey, this is why you should feed your baby this type of food, stuff to avoid for babies this. If your baby is sick with this, make sure you do this, this stuff. So people associate our brand with not only our product, but they see us as somebody who cares about them, and they are and also providing them a lot of value. So that just increases our email open rates significantly. So that was huge in getting people to re-engage with us. Also, SMS marketing. So being able to send people text messages, let them know that we just got our new product in. Check it out. We just got our new product in. That, SMS has a crazy open rate. Like I think it's like 95% of people that receive an SMS message open it. So just being able to re-engage our customers and remind them that we have new products is huge, and just re-engaging and getting lots of sales. So really exciting stuff. This is a really cool case study. Moving on to the screenshot itself. You can see here that, we have some big returns. We're spending, like let's see, 12,000 here, and we're making a 4.5 return. So we're, that's incredible, right? You're making 4 times that, $48,000. It's crazy. Spending 18,000 here, making 5 times that, and yeah, we're just 21, spent $80 and made 21 times that. So what we're just seeing here is just these creatives being able to be swapped out of, able to just target quality audiences, adjust our copy, and just optimize as much as we can to just get these quality results. And this obviously takes time, right, guys? This account's been worked on for 2 years, but it's an investment. It takes time, but once you kind of figure this stuff out for your business, you really just bring in the results you're looking for. So a third case study. Give me a second, drink some water. A third case study is the art supply outlier. So different industries are different, right? Some industries are just going to naturally have a lot of people looking for products. Other industries, there's not as much of a demand for it. Art supplies is one of those ones where, yeah, there's the demand for it, but the demand's not massive like other industries, for example. So art supplies, right? Initially, this brand was selling this stuff online, and just selling art supply online, right? Just selling paintbrushes, paint, yada, yada, canvases, all that stuff, right? People were buying stuff, like buying just a few pieces, right? So something that we recommended to this client was, hey, sell a package so we can up our order value, right? People are buying just one paintbrush, or they're buying 1 can of paint. We need to sell more to be profitable. We need to get people buying, instead of purchasing $20 worth of stuff, we need to have them purchasing $40 of stuff, right? So we did that by essentially encouraging our customer to sell boxes, a gift box of multiple items, right? From there, we started pushing that. An obstacle that we ran into was that our demand was fluctuating depending on the time of the year. So during times where intent is higher, so for example, the holiday season, naturally we were making better sales and getting quality returns. But during the lower seasons, when we didn't have holidays to lean on, we weren't getting good ROAS. So we identified a barrier that our fluctuation in demand our demand depended on the time of year. So we needed to overcome that. So what we did is we started to offer this box as a subscription. Hey, you buy this box, you buy this subscription box, you can buy it once for this price, but if you buy a 3-month subscription or a year-long subscription, you're going to get X amount of discount, and you'll get the supplies every month. So what happened is a certain percent of our customers started to actually buy our subscription. And what that helped us do was, during our low seasons, when we know we were not going to make as much sales, we actually were able to have sales guaranteed, because we had those monthly reoccurring subscriptions going on. So it helped us overcome our low seasons. But something else that we started to identify is like, hey, we do have this during the holidays, people are buying this more. So we started to test something out. Like, okay, let's position our art box as the perfect gift for every holiday. So we started marketing it as the perfect birthday gift, the perfect Father's Day gift, the perfect Mother's Day gift. Any holiday you can think of that you would get a gift for somebody, we started to position ourselves as the perfect holiday gift, right? So what ends up happening is people were buying this as a gift, and the people that received the gift were taking the subscription, the 3 month, 6 month subscription, right? Um, and they would have that, right? Guaranteed they're getting that month over month. When their subscription would end, since we've been a part of their life for the past 6 months, naturally, a lot of people just renewed the subscription and kept on with us. So it was a way for us to reach new people that were very interested in our products, and get them to buy month over month. So this one is really cool, guys, because this isn't as like a sexy of a brand, but we found a way to make it more appealing and get people to buy it month over month and essentially scale a brand, right? And so something else that we did for a creative strategy was rapid GIF testing. So if you're not familiar with a GIF is just like um, a small video with no audio, and it just kind of loops. And what we did is we used that to showcase the benefits of using our product. We also did unboxing creatives where you can kind of see somebody opening the box and see what's in the box. And it essentially just helped us get better results. And it was a very, very powerful stuff. And the strategy as a whole helped this business be very profitable. So you can see here, these returns are going up. Our returns are going up, right? Like we're spending 400 and making 18x that, right? So if we can now get somebody to buy a year supply of our product, then we're going to make a very, very good return, right? So, spend 8,000 to for 4.7x that. It's all really good results, guys. And this, obviously, like I said, this stuff takes time. Like we're not testing these things I told you. We're trying these different things to find the brand to be profitable. It doesn't happen overnight. It requires like months of us just kind of being diligent and finding the winners, trying different strategies, trying the subscription, trying the box, testing the different creatives, becoming that perfect gift. And yeah, over time, guys, you just find out what works and it scales, and then you start to build a business and you get month over month new people coming in, and then that's again the blood of the whole whole ecosystem. The water that feeds the crops that grows all your other channels. So very powerful stuff here. But yeah, now to transition. So now we're back to our paid traffic strategies, our 5 steps, right? And now we are going to dive into the deep dive of these steps themselves. So number 1, research and discovery. So before we spend any money, guys, we're doing niche research. So for example, we want to know who else is operating in our industry, right? Let's dissect the top 5, 6 competitors. What are they doing that's all in common? What's the industry have in common? What are individuals doing that we like? What do we see that what do their ads look like? Are they running ads? What channels are they pushing those through? What kind of copy are they using? Like we want to determine what's resonating with audiences before we launch. We want to know that. We want to, and then from there we want to transition to our SWOT analysis, which is understanding our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So strengths could be like, hey, like what do we do really well? Do we have a fast delivery time, right? Like are we a better price point, or do we provide more value? What's our strength, right? What are our weaknesses? Are we trying to be the luxury brand, but our weaknesses are our website doesn't feel luxury, our packaging doesn't feel luxury. Like we need to make sure that we're identifying our weaknesses and overcoming them. We need to then understand our opportunities. Is there an opportunity for us to expand into different markets? For example, if we're selling in Spain, can we profitably sell in the UK? Just understanding that. Threats. What threats are going to prevent us from scaling the business or being profitable? Do we need to, identify that like we need to charge more? Like, is there a threat that we're not, being profitable? Like, we just need to understand all of that from a marketing perspective. And then from there, we always audit our clients' websites. I want to just dive in there and just look for those typical pitfalls that we've grown to know and understand that, hey, like this should be changed just because this isn't going to be good for your website. We just know that from other experience, So we want to make sure the website's optimized before we launch any ads. And then we actually audit ads. So for example, if you've previously ran ads, we want to look at that data and see what the data's already told us. If you haven't, no problem. It doesn't matter. We'll start from scratch and we'll just implement our the best strategy possible. But yeah, just understanding if you have ran ads in the past, what has worked, what hasn't worked. But yeah, anyways, after that step, we move on to our campaign launch. I'm gonna grab some water really quickly. 1 second. So our campaign launch it marks the beginning of our data collection. We've launched 2 main campaigns, and obviously there's obviously like sub campaigns, but just the 2 main ones is number 1, the cold acquisition campaign, which is the top of the funnel, where people do not know your brand, they've never heard of you. And then there's the retargeting campaign. So it's the people that are going to engage with your cold ads, people that visit your website, people who add to cart but don't complete a purchase. That'll be the retargeting campaign. And then so a question might be that you're having is, what defines a successful campaign? It's a great question. So campaign goal, right? So our campaign goal is to be profitable at the cold acquisition campaign level. So at the top of the funnel, the people that have never heard of your brand before are entering your funnel and buying and being profitable, or buying at the top of your funnel, and you're profitable without needing to send them another ad to show them to get them to buy. So we need to be profitable at the top of the funnel. Obviously, right? Every business is different. We saw in the fashion brand case study that 3x didn't cut it for them, but in general, if you can get over 3x for a brand, they're going to be profitable, without a doubt. But yeah, so let's say we're sending people ads, and we're spending $1 and making $3 every time someone sees an ad, right? That means if we can get 3x at the top of the funnel, at the bottom of the funnel, when we retarget people, we're just going to have an even better return on ad spend. So we can spend $1 and make $6, for example. So it's just really important for us to unlock the code that essentially allows us to be profitable up here, because then this becomes natural. So this is where all the testing happens, and this is where for example, to reference the fashion brand again, this is where we were testing all of our creatives and seeing what were resonating, because the ones that were resonating, we were scaling in the cold audience, but then we were also moving those ones that were resonating to the retargeting audience. And we were showing so let's say we had 2 campaigns that were performing really well, or 2 creatives that were performing really well. We could then switch those to the different people and show different people those 2 ones, right? So, and that's where we were cutting the creatives up here. So essentially it was just, this is the funnel, testing everything. But to give you a little more color and how the campaign itself works, I kind of made this fish diagram. I hope this is helpful. So think about your cold acquisition campaign as fishing in the ocean, right? We're fishing the whole ocean. There's so much opportunity out there, and you don't know where the fishing holes are, right? Where are the fish hanging out? I don't know. We'll find it. So in order to find the fish, we have our fishermen, right? And these are our campaigns, or our ads themselves, right? So we have one fisherman using a net, a couple of fishermen using poles in different spots. We have somebody in the water using a fishing rod out here. Then we have somebody in the deep water over here fishing, right? And our goal is to find the fish. Where are the fish? Once we find the fish, that's where if we found the fish right here, we'd send a couple extra fishermen to fish with them in that hole to catch those fish. If there's no fish here, we may send this fisherman on a deep sea vessel out into the deep sea, right? So we're just trying to find the fish wherever the fish, aka the customers, wherever they are, we want to find them. So once we find the fishing hole, we're going to start catching fish, cold acquisition. We're going to add them to our net of customers that have purchased from us. Let's say a fish interacts with our fishing, aka our ads. Then we'll move that fish into a pond and remarket to them there. It's different. Obviously, the difference between an ocean and a pond is much smaller. So in a pond, you know exactly where the fish are. The fish are right here. So we only need to spend. We can spend less money in retargeting to make a sale, and that's why you get higher returns in the retargeting. In the retargeting campaigns is because you don't have to spend as much to reach those people. Anyway, so the goal is to send people here and get purchases. And right, so this is something that's super important to note, guys. Remember earlier I said that we need new customers month over month while being profitable. Remember that I said that. So what we're doing is essentially we exclude targeting people once they purchase. So once somebody purchases our product online on social medias, we're not going to retarget them. We're not going to show them another ad, because once they've purchased from us, they're going to enter our other sequences, for example, our email marketing. So we don't need to waste money spending on them. We want net new people month over month. So this is so important, guys, right? We need to grow our audience. We need to grow our awareness month over month. And we need new people purchasing every time. So that's the goal. So moving on to our third step. One second, my mouth is getting dry. Moving on to our third step, analyze the data. We make data-driven decisions. So we're going to follow the data, right? So, we're going to identify breaks in the customer journey as we analyze the data. We'll identify like at an ad level, maybe that our average order, maybe for example, a customer has a low average order value, and that's impacting our ROAS. And from an ads perspective, how you can adjust that is we can widen our audiences. We can split test more creatives to essentially try to find the lowest cost per click possible, to essentially make sure that's low enough to where when we do have purchases, we have a quality ROAS, for example. Something with AOVs, finding a way, this is off topic, but if you can find a way to have a higher AOV, that'll help too in the ads themselves. But moving forward, so maybe your ad creatives are not converting. So maybe we have to take different angles, right? Maybe we've tried videos in a certain format. Maybe we got to try different videos. Maybe we've tried pictures and we want to try something else. Maybe we need to just give a simple image, right? Like, for example, we worked with a knife brand that was using very high-end, well-done creatives, and they weren't converting. So we said, hey, let's just try to film something very simple. So we had the owner just stand there with a piece of paper and just cut the paper in half with the knife to demonstrate how sharp it was. And that creative performed at like a 20x. It was incredible. Like people saw that and were like, wow, that's a sharp knife, and they bought it. And it just looked very authentic, very original. So being able to identify that certain ad creatives aren't working and shifting is very important at the ad level. Maybe our copy's not converting. Maybe we need to just try to resonate with our audience with different copy, right? Maybe our targeting needs to be adjusted. Maybe we need to focus on different parts of a country or just different types of people, right? So it all varies in the ad level, and that's why we follow the data. From the website level, maybe customers are abandoning their cart. Maybe they're adding, but then they're just not completing a purchase. That's a problem. We need to find ways to fix that on the website. That's the funnel optimization, right? Maybe people are clicking on our ads, but clicking off our website fast. Is our website loading fast enough? Do we not have a compelling landing page? Do we need to change where we're sending people, whether that's to like the homepage of the website or to the actual landing page of the product, right? Maybe we're missing testimonials, or we don't have enough testimonials, and we need to add some more to get people to believe that our product is good, right? Maybe we just have a bad offer. Maybe we need to make our offer more compelling, right? Maybe our product descriptions aren't done well enough. Maybe we need to rewrite those in a compelling way. Maybe we're not showcasing the benefits of our products. Maybe our website doesn't showcase enough that how this product solves the user's problem. So it's just, again, this is a very important step in the process, just to, break this down, understand what's happening, right? Next step is then to pivot to win. So remember earlier when I was talked about how with the art brand that we recognize that, there's low times where we're just not selling product. How did we overcome that? We pivoted and realized that we needed a subscription to overcome those low times. And we tried other things too. We tried a number of things to, move the needle, but then the ultimate needle mover was putting our supplies in a subscription. So that's an example of pivoting to win. So just to talk about the pivoting phase a little more. So pivoting in practice. So during the pivoting phase, we're pulling levers essentially just to see what our needle movers are, right? We need to identify what's going to optimize our user experience and get more conversions, right? So essentially we're making calculated decisions, and we're split testing, and we're just trying to find a better way to get conversions. Remember, just to do another callback with the fashion brand, for example. But pivoting was, we were testing lots of creatives very fast. And we were doing that, but something that was happening is we were running out of people to target because we were moving so fast. It was becoming expensive to target those people. So we pivoted and we widened our audience. We recognized that we needed more people to target. So we expanded that, and we're able to market to more people, and that made us more profitable and lowered our cost per purchase. So big stuff here, right? It's all about not only analyzing the data, but then implementation of the decisions that you're doing to become more profitable just needs to be on point. So scaling wins, right? So once we pivot, we'll recognize that certain stuff is winning, and we need to scale those wins, right? So scale comes through testing, obviously. For example, the fashion brand, we continue to scale that brand through testing more and more creative. So that was important, and we need to build a repeatable system that scales. So for our baby brand, remember that one? We started with spending $2,000, and we got up to spending $20,000, and that was all done through creating that system of people filming creative, our customers filming creatives for us and sending that in. So that was a pipeline that was quality. It looked very trustworthy because it looked like real people filming the creatives, because it was. And then we need to give our users the best experience possible. And so, for example, our art brand, users love our boxes, right? We're providing high quality products at a great price, and they're getting it month over month, and it's empowering them to be the biggest creatives they can, right? The biggest artists that they can. So very powerful stuff here. Excuse me, my nose is giving me some problems. Okay. So as we kind of grow and scale, we can adjust our budgets to outcompete our competition. And that's always really important, right? If we can spend a few extra dollars to outbid our competition, but also remain very profitable, above a 3x or 6x, whatever you need, right? Then that's what we need to do in order to essentially overcome our customers. Excuse me, guys. This is giving me issues. So we need to isolate and scale winners. Again, that was the fashion brand example, right? We need to further optimize our funnel. We need to understand, like, hey, our landing page is optimized. Is everything good? Is our store conversion rate looking good? If not, we need to further adjust things and make sure it's profitable, right? And we need to find winning creatives and double down and invest in content, right? So investing in content for the baby brand was having people film content for us, but with the art brand, we converted our videos into GIFs so people could see those on loops. And so it's all just about investing, and the fashion brand, obviously they had to have high quality shots done. So it was every brand's different, right? It just depends on what your niche is. So I just encourage you to be very creative in the stage and scale your wins. Okay, this before we get to our action items, I wanted to cover investing in the brand. You're building a business, right? And I know some people are often intimidated about spending money on ads online. Like, that can be intimidating, right? You're investing your money, and sometimes people aren't seeing the returns they want right away, and that can be scary and make people hesitant from doing it. But I'm here to tell you that you're feeding the machine, right? There's no wasted money spent into the algorithm. Every dollar spent is an investment. If you're spending money, your algorithm's learning, and you're going to find ways to optimize as long as you're doing stuff properly. So you just need to make sure that when you are spending, you're spending responsibly. You're making sure that the money you're putting into it is being spent good, spent well, and that you are analyzing your data so that your money's not wasted. Because as long as you're doing this responsibly and you're not wasting money. It's really good stuff. So jumping into our action items. All right. So part one, we're going to talk from the website level. First thing you're going to do is you're going to check your website speed. If your website speed isn't up to par, that's going to really impact your user experience. Like I said earlier, it's all about the customer, right? So customers have there's a lot of good experiences online for customers now. So if you at the very least can't provide quality speed, you're going to lose everybody right away. So check your website speed. It's not hard. You can Google check my website speed, and you can find ways to do it. Just make sure you do that, and make sure you're up to par. Then number two, what you're going to do is you're going to check your conversion rate. If your store is below 1%, you definitely have a problem. If you're at 2% conversion rate, it's pretty good. Always can be better. I like to shoot for a 2.5 or better. That's kind of like the standard. That way we're getting the most out of our paid traffic and just our traffic in general, right? So if you're not happy with your conversion rate, then you need to identify breaks in your funnel. So you're going to look at your data and you're going to identify where your customers are falling off, right? So if they're falling off on your product page, if they're not adding to their cart, then we need to find out why. And so if they're not adding, ask yourself this: on both desktop and also on your mobile, can your customers see your product picture, your product price, and the add to cart button in one visual? If they can, that's good. If they can't, you need to adjust the way it looks so you can actually have that in one visual, because people, that's just like a proven way to get people to actually add your stuff to cart. So just make sure you're doing that. Also, you need to check if your offer is compelling. I have this listed at the bottom right here, but you need to research your competitors, see what their offer is. Is your offer compelling? Why should somebody, ask yourself, like, legitimately, like, why should somebody buy from you versus your competitor? Don't be biased. Just go in there with like a third party perspective and find out why they would or wouldn't buy from you. So make sure you do that. Does your product have social proof? If maybe you're new to selling online, or you just haven't made it a point to, get product reviews, you need to do that. So a couple quick and easy ways you can do this. Number one, you can, request product reviews from your email marketing list of people that have purchased from you. Or something you can easily do is post on social media and say, like on your social media, let's say Instagram story, and say, hey, anybody who sends us an honest review of blank product will receive a 15% discount for our store. And then people are going to send you stuff. Post about it till you get 2 or 3 of them, and then use that and integrate that into your website. Ask them to send you like 1 out of 5 stars, and then like a brief review, and then you can use that on your website. Never lie about reviews. Always get legitimate reviews, but just ask your customers. Seriously, go after your customers, and if anybody who really likes your products, they're gonna give you a review for a discount because they want more of your product. So yeah, do that. Make sure you do that. Are the people that adding to your cart, are they buying? If not, we need to determine why that is and see if we can essentially potentially offer something to make sure people do buy. So for example, you can offer something like a discount if somebody completes a purchase in the next 5 minutes. So let's say they added your product to the cart and they click on the checkout button. It'll, across the top bar, it'll say, complete your order in the next 5 minutes and receive a 15% discount. And that right there, that'll help increase your likelihood of people actually buying. You may be saying like, dang, like I want to make more sales, but I don't want to give a bunch of discounts. Yeah, I hear you. And if you're worried about your margins, maybe see could you sell your products for a few for more, and then so when you offer that discount, it's actually not impacting your margins. Try that. That's something you can do. If you don't want to give discounts, maybe you can just artificially limit your inventory. So you could say like, hey, we only have 9 of these left on your website, and just make sure that's artificially scarce, right? People want to be in the know, right? They want to have the stuff that people can't have. So artificial scarcity is a way you could up your potential buyers, right? You consider adding an upsell at the end of your website. So if you're worried about lowering your your average order value, then maybe you could offer like, hey, this product pairs well with this product, and if you buy them both, you get a 20% discount, or whatever it is, guys. Like, just be creative and find ways to essentially, like, what would make you want to buy a product right now? You know what I mean? So yeah, just get creative with this. These are all examples. You could implement a number of these. Yeah, so just be creative with it. And then I said this a second ago, but I'm going to say it again. Just understand what your biggest competitors in your industry are doing. Make sure what are they doing well? What do they all have in common? Just understand your competition, because your competition will tell you what you're supposed to do, right? So then use that to see how are they getting people to check out, right? Let's dissect our competition. Anyway, so that's from the website level. So make sure your website is as optimized as possible. And these are just a few things. I could give you more, but I don't want to go overkill and give you too much to do. I feel like this is realistic stuff you guys could do today for sure. Number 2, we're going to talk about from an ads level. So you're going to start running paid traffic. After you optimize your website, you need to start running paid traffic and collecting data, because you need new customers today. You need to grow. I always recommend starting with, for paid traffic, always Facebook or TikTok. Which one you start with kind of depends on the business. It's a business to business basis. So so once you make your decision on which one you're going to run, or if you want a recommendation, feel free to reach out. If after you have which one you're starting with, make sure your API and pixel stalled correctly. I've seen brands that have spent money. They come to us and said, like, hey, we're not getting good results. We need help. And we look at their pixel/API and it's not installed correctly. And we're like, dang, like you weren't tracking these conversions properly. So none of that data even counted. So excuse me, make sure that's done properly, because you want to track your events properly. If you are running ads, you need to target a larger audience. You don't want to limit your growth. I know if you're, selling coffee, you're targeting people that are coffee lovers, right? But expand your audience. Give more people a chance to say no to you, because you'd be surprised. Sometimes those audiences you thought were going to be no's end up being yeses. So you don't want to say no for people. You always would rather test it, ask, and find out it's a no, than not test it and never know. So yeah, do that. And then so content creation, guys. So if you're, every business is going to benefit when they start creating, product focused content. So for example, you need just fresh creatives coming in, every month. You need some new stuff to post on your organic socials, but also stuff you can run as ads. You need to, showcase how this product is improving your customer's life. Like, so we got to showcase the benefits, show them how this product's, essentially improving their life, but don't confuse the benefits with the features. So ultimately, guys, if you need help with this portion of creating content, I do have a content PowerPoint slide that I will happily share with you guys. So just let me know if you want that. But ultimately, you guys, you need content. If you're not creating content, your competition is, and it's the best way to get in front of people from organic way, but also through paid traffic. So you need to test that stuff. But yeah, guys, that's it, right? I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too many action items, but I feel like this is a great starting point to stuff you can do today to, better optimize your whole store. But lastly, guys, I want to give you a chance to connect with me. You'll see up here that there is a button where you can click on the website, my website. If you click on my website, you'll be redirected to my calendar. You can see some more case studies on that page as well. But yeah, book some time. I would love to be an asset to you if you're looking for someone to run your ads for you. My team and I would love to be those people. Just a word of advice: if you are serious about working with us, please book as soon as you can. We only have 3 spots left for the rest of the year. What we don't do is we don't want to take on too many clients and essentially make it to where we're have too much and we can't properly analyze these accounts. So we have 3 spots. So if you're serious about working with us, book as soon as you can, because it's first come first serve right now. But yeah, we would love to work with you and definitely be a partner. So guys, thank you so much for being here. I really hope you found this valuable. And yeah, guys, thank you. And I plan to do more of these, so give me feedback. I might send out a survey and get your guys' honest feedback. I would love to hear what you'd want to hear from the next master class. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. And click that link before it disappears up here. And I look forward to talking to you if you end up reaching out to me. So thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye, everyone. Take care.